What's up, everybody, and welcome back to another video by Helmet to Helmet 49ers podcast. Today we'll be doing the 49ers vs. Raiders preview podcast. I am your host, JT, and my co-host is Dad.
Hi there, everybody. Good to be here.
And before we start today's podcast, don't forget to like and subscribe.
All right, so let's talk about it.
Well, first, Deebo Samuel is ruled out. He was limited in practice 2 days in a row. And I thought he was going to come back, but apparently they want to take him slow like they do for all players.
Yeah, I mean, they probably did rush a few people back earlier in the season, but I think they learned from that mistake, and they want to be very careful with Deebo. Seeing that we're still winning games without him, there's really no reason to rush him back. But I thought he was practicing pretty well. No, I heard he was dancing. That's what I heard. He was dancing out there. He was getting in the groove. He was getting in the mood. He's feeling good about himself. So that's good. I think if it was a real important game, he would be playing.
Well, I feel confident about beating the Raiders without Deebo. I don't want to be too confident, though.
Exactly. Yeah. Neither do I. You can never take any team for granted.
Even when Derek Carr is benched.
Wow. What news that came across a couple of days ago that Josh McDaniel decided to bench Derek Carr for the rest of the season. He's not even with the team. He's not even going to be there on the sideline. You know that? He's gone. He's not with the team anymore, physically. Contract-wise, he still is. But from what I heard, the reason why they're doing it, not because Jarrett Stidham could be the future of the Raiders. The reason why is mostly for money. If Derek Carr gets injured this season, he is guaranteed about $40 million.
That's a lot of money.
And if he's not the future for the Raiders, they do not want to push $40 million towards him. So right now they're just protecting him so he doesn't get hurt. And there's talk that they might be trying to might try and trade him around Super Bowl time.
Really?
That's what I heard.
I thought the trade deadline was over, though. Are you allowed to trade for people in the playoffs?
Maybe they make an agreement for next year.
And there are still some great players on the Raiders, like Devontae Adams, Max Crosby, and Josh Jacobs. We have to watch out for all those players.
Oh, yeah. I mean, Devontae Adams is like one of the best receivers, or was at least, one of the best receivers in the NFL. With the Packers, he was.
But not with Derek Carr. And Aaron Rodgers isn't one of the best quarterbacks without Devontae Adams.
Yeah, Devontae Adams, I think he even admitted that he came to the Raiders because his old buddy from college, Derek Carr, was there. But now, I don't think Derek Carr is going to be with the Raiders much longer. So Devontae Adams is going to have to live with whoever is going to be throwing him the ball.
And he's going to be going against Charvarius Ward.
You would think so, right? You've been saying that Charvarius Ward usually will just follow the top receiver on the other side, huh?
Yeah. Like DeAndre Hopkins, we switched his side because he's DeAndre Hopkins and we can't put DeAndre Lenore on him.
Or on DK Metcalf too. I don't know if he's on there every single time, but I think, yeah, predominantly he does follow the best receiver. So if Mooney Ward does go up against Devontae Adams, I'm hoping he can still lock down that receiver and take him out of the game for the most part. You know, he's going to get his catches, but hopefully not too much.
Yeah, hopefully less than 50 yards because that would help a lot.
But like you were saying, another player that's hot for the Raiders is Josh Jacobs. That guy, he's
going crazy this season.
He could be the rushing leader. Forget about Derrick Henry. We're talking about Josh Jacobs this year. You know, that's pretty impressive. So he's been really
Amazing.
amazing and carrying this offense. I would say since
And how and we could stop him because we are the #1 run defense in the NFL.
yeah. So what's gonna happen, huh? The best running back versus the best run defense. What what a matchup that is. I mean, what are Josh Jacobs' stats this year?
1,539 yards. And this is how many yards he averages per game. 102.6 yards.
Per game. And I don't know if you know this, but our defense has not allowed, was it more than 59 yards to any running back this season. So, yeah, what's going to happen?
That could break, but hopefully not.
Yeah. I'd say our defense is going to hold up.
And 5 yards per carry.
Josh Jacobs, that's a very healthy average per carry for Jacobs. But our defense has shown up pretty well, so I'm gonna side with our defense, our #1 defense.
Yeah, we can shut them down. Our linebackers can do it.
And you were talking about Max Crosby too. He was one of the top sack artists this season, right?
11.5. He was top 5 for a while, but then he slowed down a bit. So he's not in the sack leader race anymore.
Okay, yeah, not in the Bosa realm, I guess, huh? Another couple of levels down below that. Didn't he make the Pro Bowl last year over Nick Bosa or something like that?
No, it was
All pro. Okay, yeah, that was a snub from Nick Bosa.
That was horrible. if you look at stats, all career stats, Bosa's still better with Pro Bowls, but not all pros. It's horrible. But he better make all pro first team this year.
Yeah, everything, man, everything. So you're saying Max Crosby was something to be keeping an eye on too for the matchup, right?
Yeah, because he might be going against Mike McGlinchey. No offense, weakest link.
Yeah, could be.
I think McGlinchey will admit that he's worse than Trent Williams.
Oh, definitely offensive tackle wise. Definitely, of course, yes.
Everyone will.
Yeah, he's going to be a handful. Max Crosby is going to be a handful for McGlinchey. McGlinchey has been off and on. He's been okay lately, but besides those crazy penalties he might incur during a game, he's been okay. Okay, as long as you don't hear his name too much, it's
Only
good.
good things on commentating.
Mm-hmm.
Only compliments will be nice.
Yes, exactly. If you ever heard his name, it's like hopefully it's a pancake block or something like that. Then you could talk about him.
Hopefully the commentators don't jinx him.
What else happened here? Let me see. How about for the Raiders, Denzel Perriman, right?
Their leading tackler.
Oh man.
But Max Crosby is 2 tackles behind
Denzel Perriman. Yeah, and they lost Denzel Perriman to an injury. He's on IR, so he's done for the season. So losing him is a big loss. And Chandler Jones, right? That was another guy.
He's out for the season.
Yeah, he's on IR too. So just in time for the Niners to play them.
Yeah, because Chandler Jones and Max Crosby are 2 scary couple defensive ends.
Yeah. Yep, those are some of the matchups. Well, how about like on the offensive side for us, for the Niners, huh? I wonder how, without Denzel Perriman, I guess hopefully CMC will be able to manufacture some good yardage.
Yeah, hopefully our center, maybe Jake Brendel, can block the backup linebacker pretty well, and it can lead to a big hole, and then a McCaffrey 60-yard touchdown.
Yeah, that sounds great. But how about the injury list? Last week Jordan Mason missed out a lot of offensive snaps. I did not see him on the list this time, right?
I think he's full participation.
Well, he's not on the list, so I guess he's a full. I guess, right? We have to just assume that. So hopefully Jordan Mason will get some carries this game.
Who do you want to carry the ball more? Jordan Mason, which would be more effective, more of a guarantee than TDP, or do you want to see what TDP has?
I would give it at maybe 30, no, 40% CMC, about 30% and 30% Jordan Mason and TDP share. We kind of know what Jordan Mason, he hasn't done much. He hasn't had a lot of carries, but it seems like we know what he's about. TDP, we want to see how good he can be. So I want him to get some more carries, especially if we have the game in hand, in control early on. Yeah.
And Nick Bosa, we're going to be doing the Bosa Watch. And this is pretty interesting. He's in the MVP talk.
Yeah, people are talking about mostly teammates, coaches, because I know Kittle was talking about it. Shanahan was talking about it. And I did read this little, I think it was a tweet by Robert Griffith III, RG3, saying that Bosa deserves talk about the MVP and that it shouldn't always be a quarterback. I believe the last time, I looked this up, a defensive player, you remember who that was?
Lawrence Taylor.
Yep, back in '86. That was the last time a defensive player was MVP in the NFL.
If Michael Strahan or TJ Watt haven't, TJ Watt tied the record and Michael Strahan broke the record, and they didn't even win MVP. And sorry, Bosa, but I don't think they're gonna break the record. He's not gonna win MVP. Right?
Yeah, well, yeah, that's really hard. You're right. I think the mindset of people nowadays, whoever is voting for this thing, is all about offense. Yeah.
Not even a wide receiver. Cooper Kupp triple crowned it last year, and he didn't win MVP.
Yeah, it's amazing, right? I think it's pretty much quarterback. I think the last time a running back was MVP was Adrian Peterson back in 2012. So that was 10 years ago. That was a long time ago. I mean, I think it's like almost always quarterbacks now. So unfortunately, hopefully Bosa gets some talk, but I think that's about all he's going to get. He's not going to win it, I think. It's going to be a tough. But if he were to win MVP and Defensive Player of the Year, that will be a season to be remembered for
Is
Nick
that
Bosa.
First time?
I would imagine so.
Or did Lawrence Taylor also do it?
That's a good question. We'll have to look that up sometime. But I think that article would have stated that he was Defensive Player of the Year too. But you'd imagine if he was MVP that he would be Defensive Player too. But I don't know. Yeah, we'll look it up later.
But he'll definitely be one of the rarest things we'll ever see if he can do it.
Yeah. But before we go too deep into the Bosa, I want to talk about Brock Purdy. We have to talk about Brock Purdy. How could we go through 14 minutes of this podcast and not even talk about Brock Purdy? The guy is the man right now. How do you think he's going to do?
Well, against some unknown cornerbacks, I don't really know that many cornerbacks and safeties, I think he could find the open man.
He has been.
Because we have all the talent in the world, and he's been doing really great with all this talent. So I don't think he'll slow down against the Raiders defense.
So you think, okay, yeah. I mean, he's been pretty consistent, like 250 and below type of yards, 2 touchdowns. He's been pretty consistent in that range. So you would have to expect about the same, you know. He might break 250. You know, I more comfortable with the offense, and I don't think the Raiders were really gonna be here to play. You know, their season's pretty much over. They lost their starting quarterback and their leading tackler. It's I don't know. Oh, hopefully they give up early.
Hopefully, we're killing them so bad that they're just gonna give up in the second half.
Yeah, I mean Brock Purdy has been so great for us. My God, the accuracy. He's got all this poise. He's not rattled. He's not scared. The kid's amazing. Call him a kid. Yeah, I think he's 23. He just turned 23. I think it was on the 27th.
I'm not gonna call him a kid because I'm younger than him.
I am much older, so I can call him a kid.
We had the same birthday as him.
No,
Call him a kid.
What?
If you had the same birthday as him, you call him a kid. Exact same born.
If I was the same age as him?
Exact same.
No, I would not call him a kid. No, I would not.
1 second older. He is younger than you, basically.
Oh, yes.
But we're getting off topic.
Okay, yes, we are. Okay. Back to the Bosa Watch, right? So right now, how many sacks does he have?
17.5.
Woo, leading the NFL.
By 2 sacks, the closest one is Matthew Judon with 15.5.
Okay, 2 more games to go. So Micah Parsons played Thursday night. He had a whole big 0 sacks that day. So he has not climbed up the sack leading board at all.
But Hassan Reddick has. He's at 12 sacks.
Okay, that's close. But
No, 14 sacks. Sorry.
14 sacks? Okay. Okay. That's pretty good. But I still think I think Bosa has 42 QB pressures, which is by far leading the NFL too. So right now his DPOY looking pretty good right now. All right. So what are we going to talk about next?
Best players.
Okay.
Here's the predictions for the best players.
Okay, who you think and who I think best offensive defensive player on this game coming up, huh?
Okay,
you first?
I'll go
You first? Oh, okay.
Okay, this is a bit of a hot take for the game.
All right.
Ray McLeod.
What?
I feel like Kyle Shanahan is going to use him like deep in the next game, kind of. We're going to run like maybe a couple times. And then those couple plays, he's going to get like maybe 40 yards in all those rushes. And it's going to prove that he can run the ball too.
Okay, all right. That is a hot take because
he's going to get more playing time.
He's going to be the next wide back? I don't know.
No, but just in case, Divo gets hurt again, we always have someone to look to.
Well,
that's called Christian McCaffrey.
That run he had is the longest, I think, of the season for a running play, but for a touchdown, it was perfectly blocked. It's I would love to see Ray to do that again or something like that. So something to look out for. How about your defensive player?
Mooney Ward.
Yes.
I think he will lock down Devontae Adams to 30 yards.
Ooh, yeah, that could happen. That would be awesome.
With an interception.
Oh, okay. Mooney Ward with an interception this game. Okay. All right. Not bad picks. I'm going to go a little bit more Mr. Obvious again. I'm going to go George Kittle for offense. I think the Raiders are pretty weak against tight ends when it comes to defending them. And Kittle has been on a tear lately. Brock Purdy and Kittle seem like they have some chemistry going, and I see that growing even more. So I'm looking for another touchdown for Kittle.
And another stolen touchdown.
Another stolen one, yeah. I don't think Shanahan would like that one. Once is enough, I think. Yeah. So I'm looking for him to reach the end zone again. He's been looking great. Kittle of old. Love it. And on the defensive side, I'm shooting for an interception against Jared Stidham in his first start of the season. I'm hoping we're going to get some Hufanga, some T's thrown up because he's going to be coming in on that blitz. And I don't know if Stidham's going to be able to handle those safety blitzes that Hufanga throws. And also, I'm going to say he's going to get an interception. He's going to ball hawk this one, and he's going to grab a interception this game. So that's my 2 choices.
That's a perfect game. because the scores. We chose both of the same scores, actually.
Yeah, coincidentally, totally by coincidence. I did not tell him what I was choosing, but by the time he wrote his down, I told him it was exactly the same score. So, all right, what is it?
31-13.
That's what we both chose. So we're looking to have a pretty good route of the Raiders. They will get a touchdown, a couple of field goals, but we're going to pull away.
Hopefully 4 field goals.
4 field goals.
And
an extra point.
somehow.
Maybe a free throw. Okay. Sounds good. Yeah. I'm looking the Niners to beat the Raiders.
Do a touchdown and a mixed extra point and then a touchdown and an extra point.
That's going to be some interesting stuff here. Yeah. Could be.
It's a lot possible.
Touchdown. Yeah, okay, yeah. There's a few different combinations.
Well, that wraps up for today's podcast. Don't forget to like and subscribe. And we will do a post-game podcast. Hopefully win. Go Niners! And goodbye.